Like no one wants you to get to him.
You don't want to get dick punched.
You don't want to get dick punched. You get dick punched in the mouth. You then get to the Taken King. Hi, my name is Marcus, and we're going to be talking about Destiny today. Buckle up, it's going to be a long episode. Now to start, we're just normal humans on a day-to-day basis. We've actually extended our travel to Mars. We've been able to research furthermore, and then out of nowhere, this huge moon-looking thing pops up in the middle above Earth. It extends our lifespan by triple. It brings us amazing technology and brings us knowledge beyond we've ever would have expected.
It's a good move.
It's fantastic. It brings us knowledge, it brings us power, it brings us a reason to live almost at this point.
We didn't have that before.
We never did. So, because of this being that brought itself to us, we've called it the Traveler. It showed up. We didn't know what it was. We gave it a name because the Traveler was the best. It just kind of popped up. Because of this further in science, we've had Clovis Bray, who was the original scientist who brought us Rasputin, which was the original Warmind that was there to defend Earth. We had Clovis Bray, as I said, who was the original scientist that built the exosystem, which built our war machines, our ships, our defense systems. This being brought us so much knowledge that we were able to build so much and further in our day-to-day. With the exosystems, Cade 6, so one of the originals, was able to take his his mind, and put it into a system, put it into a robot, and live out his day-to-day because he owed so much money. He was so giving. He wanted his wife and his daughter to live a good life, so he gave himself to science. So at this time, with all the knowledge that we have, was our golden age as humans. Our golden age grew immensely. We continued to grow, but we found out the Traveler had an enemy known as the Darkness. The Darkness began the Darkness, the end of the beginning. That drink him in the back of the throat. The Darkness caused consistent damage across the galaxy. Well, Rasputin, the Warmind that was built by Clovis Bray, noticed it and heard it and felt it coming and sent out all of our defenses on Earth, all of our defenses for Mars and Venus, and wanted it to try to expel the Darkness from the world. With that, the destruction actually destroyed basically everything Rasputin had to send out. There was no control that they had, and sorry. I told you it was going to be a long one, all right? So the Darkness took out our defenses, took out Rasputin. It was, shut him down. Everything that we sent out was destroyed. Finding out that the Traveler had a enemy, we were stuck with losing our golden age. So our ships, our mightiest warriors, our recon ships, our explorers all ran from the Darkness as far as we can to the edge of the galaxy. As soon as we got to the edge, farthest point as we could get, we found more darkness, lo and behold, and we blew up. The darkness was there and we weren't expecting it, thus creating the reef, which was also known as the collapse of our golden age. We ran out as far as we could. At this point, the Traveler had awoken. releasing its energy, the light, upon the galaxy, destroying any darkness and any crack or crevice, releasing its power in our ghosts. The ghost was the embodiment of the traveler. As you can see, it would wiggle in this shoulder area, giving our guardians power. It would range from anywhere from solar to arc to void powers, basically fire, lightning, and darkness. These guardians had no knowledge of their past and were awakened as the fight of the traveler, as it was awakened by the traveler to fight for the light. And the cause of that Big Bang also created a different race known as the Awoken, built both as half light and half dark. Now out in the distant reef where all of our expensive ships were blown up by the darkness, the Awoken, as I said, were born by half light and half dark. All written to live off by one code, to follow and live for Marasov, their queen. The queen of the Awoken. It's my body.
It's what?
It's Gate 6. I'm gonna already cry. Now back home in the last city under the Traveler grew defenders, risen from the ashes, known as the Risen at the time, grew to live under and become guardians. They lived on a day-to-day basis to defend the Traveler, defend the last city, and fight off the Fallen or any darkness that would attack them at this point. The Fallen, the original owner, as they say, of the Traveler, felt they were done wrong by humanity, done wrong by the Traveler, because the Fallen were the original owners of said.
They were the OG.
Exactly, they were the OG of the power. They felt that they were left out, lost their powers, and they were not okay with it, and they were gonna get their, in a sense, machine or grand machine back from us. At least they tried to. With the Traveler back at our hometown. Oh, we got it on home turf.
Oh yeah.
It's
We're
on
playing for the home team.
We're playing for the home team. The Fallen decide they think they're big and bad and want to come. These hot shots, exactly. These ugly alien mohawky extra arm.
Yeah.
Decided they think they can take their power back. They come at us with the House of Devils, which is one of their bigger, badder groups. Try to attack us on all fronts. Take the last city from us. At least they thought. The battle is 6 fronts, though. They never even touched one. They never even took it.
Battle with no fronts.
No fronts, exactly. At this battle, though, grew Osiris, the #1 warlock. #1.
Boy.
Saint 14, one of the greatest titans known to us at the moment in time, and created our vanguard. Once we defeated the Fallen, we knew we had to create some sort of governing act. At this point, the speaker stepped into power, saying he could talk and directly communicate with the Traveler, who no one's ever heard from. But it's been there for this point, and we kind of trust the guy. He wears this stupid mask that kind of covers him and no one hears him actually talk. But
he just talks to a circle.
He talks to this big moon thing that's supposedly full of power and light. And at this point, as I said, we create this vanguard that's supposed to oversee the last city's form of government. Now Osiris, the warlock of all warlocks.
Badass
himself.
Sorry, there's no Saint 14 trials.
There's not. I mean, he comes along at some point, but Osiris, again, the man himself, the warlock of all warlocks, saw at this point that there was a greater power that we needed to worry about. I mean, the darkness, yeah, it's coming around.
Until the lights off, it's there.
It's there. Some people are afraid of it. Like, yeah, use the light. Use where? Oh, he's gone. The Dinklebot, wherever he went. The Fallen. I mean, those alien guys. Like, they're kind of scary.
They're like Goro.
But Osiris, he saw the Vex, and these Vex machines, robots, ultra power, crazy guys were so much more powerful than any of us could have thought of. Osiris was like, Speaker, you gotta listen to me right here. You gotta know that we need to fight them on a day-to-day basis. The Osiris saw that the fact that they were such an immense knowledge, they had so much more power than any of us could ever think of. They had infinite minds. They had control between each other that they communicated within their circuits. That he literally woke up on a day-to-day, would prophesize at this point, would speak to the people and tell us that they needed to worry about stay there.
Good goes.
Good goes. That they need to worry about these Vex minds. I'm okay.
Bucket's right there for you.
I got it. Okay, so again, the Vex mind's so strong, beyond our power. We would have never saw it coming. Osiris became obsessed at this point. Talked to the people, talked to the Speaker, tried to, work with him and say, we gotta worry about the Vex. The Vex are gonna come and take our light. They're gonna take the Traveler. They're gonna take everything that we have. And the Speaker just wouldn't hear it. He started talking to the people. There was eventually the Prophecy of Osiris, a book that would sell on the streets to, normies, to noobs, to the Guardians, to everybody. And the Speaker just wouldn't hear it. He only wanted to listen to the Traveler. And at this point, the Speaker actually exiled him. He sent him and he banished him from the last city for his words, for his prophecies, because he wasn't following suit in the Vanguard. So Osiris was exiled. And man's just up and gone. We have our current Vanguard, which is not as strong as Osiris. Like, just gonna be upfront. Like, they're just not. Osiris was the OG. We did have Saint 14. We did have Lord Shax. We have Anna Bray. And at this point, unfortunately, the Fallen decided to be like, hey guys, we're gonna come around and work together this time.
Hey there.
And we're gonna attack the last city. So we had the Lord of the House of Wolves, the House of Kings, the House of Fallen. I think they had the Devils. Thank you.
Yeah.
There was a fourth one, but I don't think they showed up. Thankfully, they attacked the last city. They tried to. We had the attack on the 6 fronts. And those 6 fronts, they didn't even go down. They didn't even get close to them. We didn't even need Osiris for this point. I mean, he would have helped. But we had such a big fight and so many lives were lost on both sides. But thankfully, none of the fronts went down. The city stood strong. Though, Anna Bray, one of our main researchers and scientists were living in the brain name from the beginning went missing. We don't know if she was MIA, don't know if she was killed in action. She just kind of like disappeared. Body was never really found. Oh, so there's two. Okay. So I got it. I'm fine. I'm gonna get it.
You got this.
I got it. So when the Fallen decided to attack the final city, and they were like short-handed and didn't do anything to us. We didn't know to our knowledge that they were actually short-handed. Mara, Queen of Halfy Halves.
The Awoken.
Awoken, thank you. Queen of the Awoken found a house of wolves. House of wolves. Okay, House of Wolves. Found the House of Wolves in their in her reef. She was like, "Yo, why you stopping in my turf? that ain't right." And she was then stuck between rock and a hard place of, do I show my people? Do I share the secret of like I'm half light, half dark, like you don't know me, man? Or do we hide? Do I kind of run that like route that no one needs to see us yet? Like, you know, we've kind of been hiding since like the Traveler originally, you know, like shot off its original light to everybody.
Exploded all over the
galaxy. Exploded all over the galaxy, you know? So Mara saw that Queen of whatever she was. We're going to say Queen of Genocide because of what she decided to do. She decided to step out and step to the House of Wolves and say, I was also born of darkness.
Stomp the yard.
And they stomped the yard. They click clack through that reef. And it was like, yo, wrong house, wrong turf. This is ours. And the Awoken decided to start the war. The War of the Reefs. I think I said it right. War of the Reef. War of that area. This we're gonna call it over here. We're War of the Reefs. We're like over here. They're over here. They're on the edge of the galaxy. She decided, "Sup, you're on my land. This ain't passing. You ain't coming through." Exactly. Home Squad decided to step up, bring out the Harbingers, their massive attack power. And within seconds, now I say seconds, she brought in the Harbingers. Her attack that caused damage at this point to the House of Wolves and destroyed them from millions to hundreds of thousands and took their fleet out. Oh, buddy. You're okay? No. Okay. Is he in shot? Is he in shot? Okay, cool. So, Harbingers wiped out more than half the fleet. Marasab was like, "You're in my house. What you gotta say?" And the House of Wolves was like, "Oh god, damn, she's a fierce." They decided, no. Oh god. The Wolves and the Awoken at this point decided, we'll kneel. We're gonna kneel to her power.
Bend that knee.
We're gonna bend that knee. And we're gonna kneel down. And we're gonna understand that she is stronger house at this point. So, from the fallen attacks, years have gone by, and at this point, the real man decides to awake. Little friend here, Dinklebot, Dinkle Check shows up, full of light, full of power, shows up and wakes us up. Now, I don't think I've gone over it, but the Guardians that we are known as today are full of light and power, but they're not just any average Joe. They were actually a dead, not body on the road, but a power.
They're not roadkill.
They're not roadkill. We're someone who had some sort of strength at some point in time in our life that we were chosen by the Traveler to reawake and reanimate as the power of the light. Now, the Dinklebot here, this man's right here on my right, woke us up, said, "Hey, you're gonna fight these people." And we said, "Alright, I ain't got nothing else going on.
I'm dead, whatever.
We're dead, whatever." I don't remember anything else, because apparently when I get reanimated and woken up and like given a gun, they just say, "Hey, go fight these guys," and they wipe your memory. Now, being reawoken, I go off to fight and become the #1 guardian in the land. #1. I fight through the Vex stronghold. I go through the Black Garden. I just go up any mo that tries to steps to me. And they ain't got nothing. Nothing. Now, once I get through that point, there's this like son of Oryx or some king guy. I think his name was Crota. He was like, "Hey yo, this is my turf." And I was like, "Ha, nah, we're gonna take you out." So we go through the Vault of Glass, and the Vault of Glass was a Vex stronghold. It was one of the OG, the best raids in the beginning. You bring your friends, bring your family, show Oryx what's up, and we take out Crota, his son. So as we are fighting through our day-to-day, mopping up those Vex kids on the left and right, Petrovenge out in the whatever it is over here. I don't know why. It's just kind of have a mind of its own at this point. Reef, there it is. Word. Found it. The Reef decides, I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna own this land. Grows from a lonely paladin, calls on one of the fallen shadows, one of the fallen wolves, named Skolas, who was a higher guy in the ranks. Calls on him to attack the Awoken Queen, Queen Marasov. And Marasov calls on us, who's like a good friend, grew up in the same hood. Calls on us.
Like State Farm?
Yeah. more like you got a friend in me. Calls on us to take out his mysterious 9. As we do, we meet Skolas in a trial by combat. In that trial by combat, we take out him and his mysterious 9, returning him to the prison of elders. Now, at this point, you okay? Okay, we're okay. I think we're rolling, so we're fine. They didn't hear it. It's okay. Mara.
What?
Mara. That. Wait, she's over here. The queen. The queen of the.
It's funny because
I'm just gonna call them the fairies at this point.
My dog's name is Mara, so whenever you say her name, you can see her head.
Oh, does she pop up?
Yeah.
Oh no. Mara. Oh, she got shy. She got camera shy. Oh, good. So, she decides at this point the Taken King, this like almighty power guy that's been like up here that we haven't really discussed because we didn't know he was there because we're just kind of like this lonely guardian that was like dead for a while and then like reawoken, isn't worth like what he was. He's just not. He ain't shit. He's a guy that needs to get taken out. So Marasov calls on us. Not yet, but at some point. She calls on us. She calls on her friends, her allies, the Awoken, the Fallen, anyone who basically kneeled to her at this point, and says, "Hey, yo, we're gonna go take him out. It's our turn." And they show up at this man's ship, known as the Dreadnought. And the Dreadnought is this massive ship. I'm gonna call it an entity because it was kind of like more than a ship. It was just a stronghold for this guy, the Taken King, for Oryx. And he saw it coming. He saw all the ships emerging on his position. And he emitted this basic EMP blast, this massive amount of power to show that he was the king, to then disrupt all of the queen's tactics, pushing him and her to wits' ends, destroying her fleets, destroying everything that she brought to his stronghold, showing his true power. The queen, as far as we know, was lost in the blast. The prince, Aldrin Sav, also within the attack following his sister, lost in the blast. The Awoken and anybody kneeled to her lost in this massive blast, blowing Saturn's rings, I think. Question mark. If we can animate that later. Blowing this massive force, so where
a lot of people got blown.
They just get, they literally just blow so hard. They lost.
Yeah.
So the queen lost. The Taken King showing his true power. The reef where she.
Step up too.
Oh, step up too. back to back. So the queen lost. The prince lost. The Taken King showing his true power. The fleet destroyed. The Fallen now have no one to look towards. The Awoken have no one to look towards. The reef goes into shambles because their queen is lost in battle. Where the Taken and Cabal and Fallen take that opportunity to then reach out and take where her power laid. So, queens, I'm gonna put quotes here. Death, selflessness, Cade 6, that EXO guy from the beginning, his tricks, and Eris Morn, we haven't really talked about her, but she's kind of important. Helped us, guide us, the Guardian, to the Dreadnought. As I said, the Dreadnought's the Taken Kings. We get to the point where we're trying to like open the door, and like there's like this.
Key's not working.
The key's not working. We like shuffle through, and this is still not working.
Like a big old janitor.
It just kind of jangles.
Yeah.
And we realize like, oh man, we're not worthy. We find out that we actually have to be worthy in a sense to enter his dreadnought. So his son of Oryx that we killed like originally, we go back and we like kind of like jack his soul. The knights or whatever is guarding him, wizards, the wizards that are guarding him, the wizards that are guarding him. We decide like, hey, you, like we're gonna take it. So we take this man's soul and we use it as a key, and we get inside the dreadnought and we fight Oryx. And we think, oh, this guy's real big. He's real strong. He's a big dude, and we kill him, and it's just like, ha, and he laughs,
Nothing.
and nothing
Ain't
happens.
nothing.
He moves on. We realize not only is he taken, not only is he filled with darkness, he's actually a hive mind. So we can't only kill him in the physical form, we have to kill him in his throne form. So we go through his ship, his dreadnought, fighting through the war priest, fighting through Golgoroth the ogre. We kill his daughters because, like,
Wiping that family
we
line
just
out.
gotta kill it. We gotta end his reign. We fight the daughters. We fight Golgoroth. We fight the war priest. We then go through this stupid, like, jump puzzle thing about his ships, and then there's these like wall things that like look like like this should be easy. We just kind of jump down, and this random thing pops through, and it dick punches us to the other side of the wall, and you realize like, oh, this is actually a trap. You got to pay attention because it's you know, like no one wants you to get to
You
him.
don't want to get dick punched.
You don't want to get dick punched. You get dick punched in the mouth. You then get to the Taken King. You get to his taken form. Fight him on his end. Then the light prevails that day when you take him out in his like ultimate form. I just want to
for like
clack it.
$8. You want to clack it?
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Sweet. Am I missing anything? Messing everything up?
No, it's already, I think, been in the shop.
Yeah, there. Perfect.
Wait, he wants to clack, guys.
Do
Let
it,
him
don't clack.
clack.
Alright, we're set, we're rolling.
I don't know why that was so exhilarating.